All right. So let's answer a question that was sent to us. I think we've answered this before in a live, but I'm just going to put it out there for people so they can kind of reference it whenever they want to.
Okay.
Why do you hate tequila so much?
When I was in the Navy, before you moved over to Italy, I would go to the on-base enlisted bar, right?
Mm.
Because I was 19 years old. I never drank before. I didn't know any better. So one night we were there, had way too many tequila shots, and tequila on its own is bad, but the second time around is worse. So that is like scarred me. I just don't like the taste of tequila. I mean, all that aside, it just doesn't taste good to me.
I've never had an episode with tequila where it comes back up. And I know I hear people's horror stories all the time about, tequila changing like the way you act, but to me, I feel like when I drink tequila, I'm happy or even. I don't feel like I get angry when I drink tequila, do I?
What?
Do I?
Do you what?
Yeah, okay. So I don't know. Tequila's my thing. And I do remember actually how I got on it. It was a friend of ours back then who got me on tequila, and for a long time it was all that I drank.
Who's the friend? Somebody I know?
He who shall not be named.
All right, moving on.
No, yes, it's somebody that we were once very close to, and we are not anymore. We're not friends
Oh,
anymore.
okay. I do know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Everybody has that friend in their 20s that when you look back on it, you're like, man, I had some fun times. And then then you get older and you're like, oh, that person was not good for my life. I'm glad I had them then, because there's no way I would have that person in my life now.
I think that's something that you absolutely do that in your 20s, though, is, especially, well, now girls are as dumb as guys sometimes, but the guys, especially in the guy relationships, they're the ones that make you do all the dumb stuff, like the stuff that is going to get you in trouble, the stuff, that living on the edge kind of danger zone stuff typically is over by the time you're at the
47.
end of your... Did you say 47?
No, what did
you say 47?
I'm almost there, so I want to think that I still have some young, dumb things to do.
Dumb things to do is very difficult to recover from now.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. You get one a year.
The stuff that I did when I was a bit younger, but I wasn't really that young. I mean, all of the clubbing and the, kind of going out and drinking and that kind of stuff. I never really did dumb stuff, but I think it's because I've been a parent forever. So in the back of my head, I always had that somebody's got to get up with the kids, mentality. So it never really got crazy. I can't think of did I ever really get crazy? Other than clubbing, I don't really think I ever got off the wall. I don't have any of those stories. I'm boring. I don't have any of those stories. I don't think. If you know those stories, please don't come out and tell people what they were. Let's let the people believe I'm innocent. I have some of those stories.
What?
I do have one or two of those.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was just instructed to not say
Look at your face. You have stories that I wasn't around for. Most of my stories you were involved in.
Most?
Most.
I want to know about the few that I wasn't.
You're never a club guy.
That is fair.
Not dancing clubs.
No.
Not...
I'm a people watcher. I'll go watch people in a club, but I am not going to dance. So after a while, you're like, okay, it's soon. It's one in the morning. It's time to go.
See, I wasn't that person.
No.
I was like, it's 2. Why are the lights coming on? This is what is going on.
It's time to go.
Yeah. No. Oh well. Oh well. So, your story about tequila is you had a run in with it in the Navy, and you just don't like the taste.
Well, it was more the run out than the run in, but either way, yeah. I'm sure. Look, everyone that has had more than a couple drinks on an occasion has definitely given it back. And for me, oof, that just ruined me for tequila.
The tequila coming back. For me, it was up until the end of last year, I think. I hadn't touched Bailey's or Kahlua in over 20 years. And that was a you experience for me. You gave me drinks that had Bailey's and Kahlua and vodka in it. And I was all of like 115, 120 pounds and could not handle it.
Yeah.
Thought I could handle it. Could not handle it.
So that time, when that happened, that was around the time when I was drinking a lot, when I was in the Navy. So, after I had that one experience with tequila, I'm like, oh no, now I'm a master. I know how to do this. Don't touch tequila. So then I figured out how to drink other things in volume. And
Rum and Cokes, I believe, were your go-to for a really long time.
yeah, until you throw those up, and then those ruined too. Look, you got to be done when you're in your early 20s. If you haven't figured it out by your mid-late 20s, then you should go see somebody.
Or just don't start drinking.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Like, don't. It's just bad. Because your body's, it will not recover as quickly the older you get. It just doesn't. So, yeah. We got a couple of comments. I don't remember what platform it was, but we got a couple of comments, and I put out some drinks, and people were like, that's going to taste terrible coming up. And I was like, why would you get to the point where it would need to come back up? But when you're in your early 20s, that's, I guess, normal.
So just like a bourbon, as it ages, it gets better. Drinkers get better with age too, because they realize that I know my threshold. I know how I'll feel after this, and I'm going to stop.
True.
But I want to stay as close to that level as I can.
Yeah.
Right
Just the hum.
there.
Just the hum. Right there. Yeah.
Maybe it's an occasional surge above that line, but right at that line, and then fade off.
Yep. Yeah. Fade. But for me, fade off means it's time for bed.
You do fall asleep rapidly.
Very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've only checked you for breathing a couple of times.
All right. Well, the people know your story now, so that's cool.